This is the Google Home Hub. I've had it for about 2.5 months and I've been using it in my kitchen. And here's what stands out. So let's start with the hardware. First, you're gonna notice how small the device actually is. It almost looks like it's an iPad mini pasted onto this weird cylinder-shaped stand. The back of the device is the same fabric that you'll see on the Google Home Mini and the Google Home. And it has a rubber base. Also on the back of the device is a rocker switch for volume and a switch that slides back and forth that you can use to mute it. When you set the device on your counter or on your nightstand, all you're gonna pretty much see is the screen. There's an ambient light sensor centered on the top, and on either side of the light sensor are 2 microphones. You're gonna notice I didn't mention that there was a camera on the front of the device, and I think that's an interesting choice by Google because it won't allow you to integrate with something like Google Hangouts or any one of their video messaging services. But I think it was a smart move on their part because it makes me feel more comfortable about putting this in my home. So the reason you would consider buying the Google Home Hub over, say, a Google Home Mini is because you're looking for something with a screen, and the screen on this thing is really good. When you connect to your Google Photos account or even just the photos that it shows by default, they look awesome. They look like a printed photo that's hanging on your wall. It was definitely one of the first things I noticed, and I kept looking back at it just to see how good they looked. It's also really nice to have a smart assistant in your home with a screen because it gives you more visual feedback for items like timers, especially when you have more than one timer. You can see the progress of both of them right next to each other. So as I mentioned, the Google Home Hub integrates with your Google Photos. So that means you can use it as sort of a digital picture frame. And it's nice because you don't have to select the photos you want to see, it'll just automatically pick them. Along with Google Photos, it also integrates really well with pretty much all of Google's other services, like YouTube TV or YouTube. So you can ask it to play whatever channel on YouTube TV or ask it to play a YouTube video. Another big thing with having the screen is if you do place this in your kitchen, you can have it guide you through making various recipes. The nice thing about having Google Assistant is it can pretty much answer anything you want. It integrates with Google Maps to get hours for restaurants, and sometimes you can even make a reservation. And the other thing is you can also ask it to play music if you connect, say, your Spotify account. So those are the main things that stand out on the Google Home Hub. Some of the other things to consider though is that I found sometimes the screen might be a little bit too small, especially if I was standing halfway across the room. Like I said, when I was using it, I placed it in my kitchen, and that's because I wanted to be able to use it as a digital picture frame, and I also wanted to be able to ask it questions and set timers while I was cooking. I can see a scenario where you would want to place this in your bedroom, so you could use it to control maybe your smart lights and set your alarm, but the thought of the power going out and me missing an alarm worries me too much, so I never used it that way. So I do like having the screen a lot on the Home Hub and on my smart assistant in general. But I think sometimes this takes a little bit too much interaction and touch to get it to show you what you want. I really like on the Echo Show that it will show you scores for your favorite sports teams or the latest breaking news headline, and you can just glance back and see it. Where with the Home Hub, you have to ask it to share the news or touch the screen to get it to show you any updates. And finally, the other main thing to consider is Google and privacy. They make their money by selling what they know about you. So if you're uncomfortable with that, I think the Google Home Hub and any other device that Google makes probably isn't right for you. But if you're willing to look past it, I think the Home Hub is a really great device.